In today's show, we are doing something completely different, only by accident, not by design. You see, we weren't prepared for an episode, so we decided to go off piste. So hope you enjoy this one, slightly different to our normal show. Have fun.
And now, the TNT Talk Show, daring to go where other podcasts fear to tread.
Oh, God.
I hope that wasn't aimed at me.
No, I just saw myself.
I just saw you just turned the camera on, you saw me, he's like, ugh!
No, I just put my camera on. I've seen you before, don't forget.
Oh dear, you look fine, don't you worry.
Yeah, it's not that. I said I have got nothing for this. Have you got anything? I got nothing.
Well, I've got some, only just debating how nutty he is. And a bit about the Panama Canal. Have we not got enough to do a show, do you think?
I don't have enough to get past your favorite Dr. Isaiah bit. In fact, I haven't even got I mean, they're ready. Because there's only 4 left, I think.
Oh, I thought you said you had 6, half a dozen left or something.
Wait, I don't know. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left.
Okay.
But
you may have to go back and revisit some of the old ones because I don't remember them. I dare say our audience won't because they're all gobbledygook. Or even better, you could make some up yourself. There'd be so easy to do.
There's no point. There's no. I am not fit to lick the boots of Dr. Isaiah Henry. I would never.
I'm not sure about that. I'm pretty sure you could beat him hands down. I'm sorry.
No. Well, thank you for your vote of confidence.
Absolutely.
But I mean,
at least you make sense.
Well, again, thank you for that. But well, what can I tell you? What can I tell you, Tony?
Right.
Okay.
Well, what do you want to do about today then? Should we knock it on the head then if we haven't got enough? I mean, like I said, we've got a couple of shows already on the system, so we've got plenty of time.
You're here. I'm here. This. I've got research materials, but everything has been upside down because I lost 2 days last week. Well, 3 basically.
Yeah.
So everything is upside down. I've got a council meeting on Monday, parish council meeting on Monday. There's something that the chairman asked me to do, and I haven't done it. And then I've got a new student who's a real problem, and so
Would it help you then to forego tonight and focus on other stuff? I mean, we could do another thing. I mean,
no. Let me have a quick look. Let's have a quick look. I think I set aside. Actually, we should have a new board where we just arrange all the topics that we can just talk about. Opinion pieces.
Okay,
that would make sense. So that we can, in an emergency like this, just go.
Yeah. Okay, good idea.
Let's have a look.
Or, I mean, we could always do. Remember, we could always do shows of opinion, like for instance, in terms of what's in the news.
Well, doesn't that age very quickly?
It does.
Yeah. Listen, Rose, from a decent person's point of view. Rose? No, not Rose. From a decent person's point of view, Titanic was a horror movie. And concentrating on the character of Rose.
I can't think that was the case.
Okay.
Why was that?
So it's a film. So there's blurb on the tire thing.
Okay.
It's a film about one of the worst
disasters in modern history.
No, I didn't put most in front of immoral. One of the worst, most immoral, filthiest pieces of poo ever, Rose, triumphing amidst the disaster in which hundreds of people drowned. So you got hundreds of people drowning. You've got the incompetence and hubris. Two things that when they put them together is terrifically horrible.
Yeah.
And all that. And then you got this character Rose. Rose cheats on her fiance.
Yeah.
With some guy she just met from steerage, for God's sakes.
I know. But it was lust at first sight, wasn't it?
Then having this one thing, she's alpha widowed. That's the expression we use in MGTOW. She's an alpha widow. She can't get over this alpha she once had. Assuming and she lives with this rich man. She has kids for him. And what does she do? She's hankering for this one person and this one night of all her life, which is basically emotional what? Not blackmail. What's the other one? Emotional treachery is too strong. When you cheat, emotional cheating. It's emotional cheating on the person she's with. The lack of gratitude in spending all his money and living a wealthy life and everything. And then how much was the ring she threw away in the end? 25 million pounds or something? What was it supposed to be? And she threw it into the sea. And she's still ungrateful, by the way. That's why she's throwing the ring away. Can you imagine? And then all that she's painted as a heroine or something. And what?
That's the film making you view
I know,
her.
but then is she not one of the worst characters? Now the trouble is, yes, it's something where we're just going to make up as go along. But have you got any counter for me?
No, not really.
Okay, so we can't do it because the idea is for you to be able to go. Yeah, you think that's bad? Well, what about
No. I'm not. Yeah, not totally versed in the film enough to be able to do that sort of thing.
But it's a good one.
I get what you mean. I'd have to then look at the film. That's the problem.
No, you're missing the point. I want to hear your idea of who's the worst character, someone who's supposed to be a hero or heroine, and then when you think about it, you go, actually, this person is scum. Do you understand? It's I want your scum to beat my scum.
I don't know if I've got a film. I'm not an avid film watcher like you are, and you analyse them more than I do. I only look at films for entertainment purposes. I don't really overanalyze them. That's my opportunity to brain dump and relax and just be entertained.
My wife says the same thing. Will I please stop with all the analysis? She just wants to log out and just have some freaking fun.
That's all I do. I just log out and I'm just
she doesn't really care about the third camera being reflected in the blooming mirror by the side. But you just
I'm the same. I have to be honest. I am the same as your wife in that scenario. I'm not bothered. I just want to be entertained. I don't care about
That's what she said. You two get together. You just spend half an hour lambasting Kyle, which is amazing. I must make sure that never happens. Okay. This one. It's news. It's news. It's happening right now. The TikTok refugees going onto the Little Red Book app.
The TikTok refugees. I don't even know what this is.
You're not even following TNT Talkers, man. I've been posting on it like mad on TNT Talkers. So you know that TikTok is facing a ban on Sunday.
Yeah, if Trump gets in. And when Trump gets in, he's not definite because it has to be ratified, isn't it?
No. It's the Supreme Court.
Definitely been facing the ban in the States.
If the Supreme Court, which I think the deadline is Sunday, so the Supreme Court either stops it or it doesn't. So if the Supreme Court doesn't stop it, TikTok is banned as of Sunday. Now Trump says he's going to Trump being Trump. He says he's going to pass an executive order to unban it. I think he's talking nonsense. This is from the Supreme Court. You can't override the Supreme Court like that, in my opinion.
What's the Supreme Court's justification, though?
No, they've been asked to consider it. Because TikTok has gone to the Supreme Court to say, we are not a security threat. Nothing has been proven. This is all allegations, which is entirely true. There is no proof that we're doing anything. And it's all about the fact that TikTokers, the young generation, are all getting together and saying Palestine good, Israel bad. That's the whole problem.
So who? I mean, I thought Trump was against TikTok to begin with.
He was. That's what I'm saying. He's crazy. He was the one who, in 2017 or 2018, was first started banning TikTok, but he didn't complete it before he left office.
But now he wants to not ban it.
Yes,
Why?
because if Biden wants to ban it, then obviously it must be good.
Dear Lord. I've not really been following that. I've just thought,
Oh,
well,
so what happened is about 1.5 million Americans said, "Naff this. We're going to go and we're going to download an actual Chinese app."
Oh,
And the actual Chinese app in English is called the Little Red Book. But colloquially, both in America and in China, it's called the Red Note. Red Note. Right? So they've gone there, and what has happened is that they're interacting with Chinese people face to face, one on one.
wow.
And then they're finding out about the real China, not the China on TV. And they're like, what?
Yeah, what are we being told?
How much is an ambulance again?
Yeah.
$50. $50? And the
Yeah.
other one is going, yeah, it's too high, right? And I'm like, are you insane?
Yeah, they paid $2,500 or something. Yeah.
We're paying thousands here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much if your ambulance is $50, how much is it to get an appointment and see someone and get treated?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, $120. $120.
Like, what?
And the cousin's like, well, I'm suspicious now. How much is yours? It's $9,000. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that. And this is happening. A person gone to the grocery, the one I saw and the one I posted on TNT Talkers, went to the grocery store and said, how much is corn? And the person said whatever it was in yuan. Oh, yeah, 7.9 yuan. Calculator, 7.9 yuan. What the hell is that? That's like $1. And the guy's like, yeah. And then the person, so what do you mean, yeah? It's $7 here now.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
$7 per kilo.
Yeah, wow.
So these people are just going like, wait, and you can say this? Yeah. Why? So, well, we thought people had censorship and all that.
Yeah, no, not like you think.
If you have censorship, they will tell you, you will get a note from the platform saying between 319 and 440,
Yeah.
you said this or you did this or this. So you take that out, post it again, Bob's your uncle. They actually tell you what the problem is. So one person posted something with a flag of an organization which in China is a Syrian organization, which in China is considered to be a terrorist organization.
Right.
So they said, look, man, you got the flag of blah, blah, blah there. They'll take it out, man.
Yeah.
They took it out. Okay.
Wow. I did not know this has happened. Wasn't been aware. I haven't been following this story.
Oh, you've been away?
I've not been away. I've been bloody suffering. I've been sleeping lots and my leg's hurting. I've been elevating my leg, just watching crap telly, not the
You know
news.
what I want to ask you?
Go on.
Actually, you know what we should be doing?
What?
We should be recording this.
We are recording this.
Oh, thank God. All right, then we'll retrofit the topics. Let's just keep going for an hour.
Okay.
This is dynamite.
It's good stuff. I didn't know. I didn't know what we were doing. We were just playing around. This is actually quite interesting stuff.
Okay, so do you remember me ever telling you what killed my lovely dad?
No.
I think I've told you several times. Fresh air and exercise.
Fresh exercise.
He walked out to get fresh air. He walked to the swimming pool because this was in Bayswater. If anybody who knows that area, he walked up to the top of Bayswater where there's a what they call swimming baths. There's a hoity-toity there. He had a long leisurely swim and walked back, said he was feeling a bit weird, sat down and left us, right? And I've always said, because I used to warn him, I said, this is all this exercise and fresh air. Are you sure about it? And that's what happened. Fresh and exercise. And then what do I hear about you? What do I hear about you? You're outside the house. That's dangerous because you're getting fresh air. Not a good idea. And then you're playing football. I was like, is this man insane? Hasn't he heard anything? And then bada boom, bada bing, I was very unsympathetic towards you when you first of all, I didn't know how serious a ruptured Achilles heel is. I thought it was just a sprain.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that serious anyway. But I was also kind of unsympathetic. Like,
Yeah, you were.
what did you expect, man? I mean, who doesn't know that you don't
Look,
go
I've
out in
got,
fresh
look,
air?
over this shoulder, you can see my crutches that are there. Can you see them?
Yes.
Yes.
You posted a picture just this evening, haven't
Oh
you?
yeah, this evening. Yeah,
You
I
still
was.
haven't got my sympathy, man. I'm sorry. It's just like no. Stay home on your couch where it's safe. Okay.
I've been spending most of my time on the couch. I can't
Well,
really
you're
go.
safe.
I
Have
can't
you heard
drive. I
anything?
can't drive.
Have you hurt anything?
No, not while I've been on my couch.
Exactly. That's my point. That is entirely my point.
Dear
And by
me.
the way, if you're not enjoying TV, that's
Well,
on
I am
you.
enjoying TV, but not live stuff. I'm just watching movies and things and just zoning out, really.
This
Because
is
I'm
the
on
best time
meds,
for
and
you
when
to
I
catch
take
up
the
with-
meds, it's
Why don't you watch Titanic?
well, we can review it properly.
Watch Titanic. Go. This is what I like to do. I like to get very invested, almost infatuated with an actress. So I will watch Titanic, which will remind me of Rachel Weisz. Then I'll go on to Wikipedia. What was she in? And then I'll catch the next one, and then the next
Oh, I
one, and then
see.
I'll build up an idea of what her career has been like, and that way over a period. And obviously, these people interact with actors of similar caliber, and so you start getting an idea of the actors as well. Although I've never done it, you can then go, I want to see all the Clint Eastwood
Yeah, I
70s
see.
movies, or
So that's how
something.
you keep the thing sequence going. Interesting.
Yeah.
There is one I saw in the news recently, and I don't know how. I didn't really get invested in it, but something about Blake Lively, the one with who's married to
What's his name?
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Huh?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
And
Reynolds.
she's having some dispute with some director and accusing him of something.
Of Hanky
I've been-
Panky, or
No, it's something to do with the film. And yeah, he again, very similar scenario to what happened to Johnny Depp and the other lady that was his partner.
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard, yeah, where that was going to court. But this is to do with a film, and they're toing and froing. But like I said, I haven't got all the information about it. But there's some text messages that she wanted to change some of the script, even though she was an actress in it, and she was saying things, and he was ceding to her, but then realised that he couldn't do that, and then she accused him of bullying and being bad. I don't know the detail. I'm looking at it from the surface, and I thought, what's going on here? I didn't delve in, and I just wondered, because you're in the know as far as this sort of stuff is concerned, whether you know any more than I do, because
No,
like I said,
I've not,
superficially.
I don't follow. Excuse me. I don't follow people live, so to speak. So when I'm following some actress and her career, I might look up what she up to now, for example.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm not actually on entertainment news or anything like that.
I see.
Unless it blows up on Facebook or YouTube, I wouldn't know about it.
But do you still
It
watch
ends with
YouTube?
us.
I thought you said that you were calling it by
Useless
derogatory name. Yeah, why?
Useless to you.
Why?
Sorry?
Why did you call it that, and you still look at it?
There's not a great alternative. I thought Rumble would be a great alternative. I'm hoping it's real. But Rumble has got a very small footprint.
Yeah, it
And its interface isn't really. I don't know. They could actually just copy the YouTube interface. I don't know why they don't, because that's what we're used to. And
Yeah.
But it is a free speech platform. You can get away with virtually anything, on Rumble. But so what? And the chat feature, because it's the chat feature that makes YouTube. Is in the old days, I used to be able to say, when I say the old days, like 2015, 2016, you could go into Useless Tube and just say what you wanted.
Right.
It was great. And then that blooming woman who's now dead of cancer, and I'm sorry, I'm a black and white person. I'm not missing her at all. And then she took over, and then she made it all sort of woke and all this kind of nonsense, and
There's
it
a
just
term,
became
you
useless.
woked it.
I haven't heard that one before, but I think it's appropriate in this case. She woked it, and it just became rubbish, because it was just it's insincere. It's all one side.
Yeah.
You're not truly anti-hate speech. You just the speech you hate.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You
But
know?
the thing is, have you noticed now the pendulum is swinging the other way completely because of Trump getting in? All the IT companies who had these platforms are all cozying up to Trump, and they're taking away all the what's it called, the censorship
Yes.
bits,
The fact checking,
obviously-
so-called.
yeah, fact checking and all
Oh
that
my God.
nonsense. They're removing it. Even
Do you
Facebook
know what
are
I
doing it.
found out now? Unfortunately, do I have any details? I want to send you a picture. I'm gonna
Although, I
have to
mean,
copy
come on,
it.
let's be honest, right? I know you're removing the fact checking, but there has to be a limit on what people can and can't say.
There
I mean,
is a
you just-
limit. There is a limit. The limit is properly. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze because I was looking at this blooming head thing,
Oh, wow.
and it's going to be like, is it coming
Our
or not?
viewing audience are looking and going, look at the face he's pulling.
Yeah, because it's not. I hate it when it doesn't really come.
Yeah,
It's
do
like,
you know
yeah,
there is a way of getting it out. But what you do is you move your head backwards and forwards like this, and it brings the sneeze out.
wait, I'm not looking at seeing you. Like what?
You move your head backwards and forwards like this, and it brings the sneeze out.
Why aren't Indians always sneezing?
That's not what I meant. Apparently you coax it out if you move your head from side to side, and it actually brings the sneeze out. So if you feel it's coming, you want
And
to
it's
coax
too late
it
now.
out.
It's fled.
It's
The
fled.
scenario.
See, it
It's
makes
fled.
you feel.
fled.
It's like, you
Yeah,
want to
I
get
know.
that sneeze
I know.
out.
You just
Yeah.
want to get it out there. So anyway, whilst we're on the subject, now for people just listening, I don't know how you. I'm going to get Tony to explain this. I don't know how he's going to. But Tony, can you see my hand?
I can see your hand. It's
When-
held
when-
vertical. Yeah.
Right, fine.
Horizontal.
With palm
sorry.
down.
Palm down. Yeah.
Horizontal palm down, right. So when you're in certain airlines and they're landing, they're noticed for doing this, for sort of seesawing from side to side, just
The
like
planes.
that.
Yes.
The plane,
Yeah.
right? Certain airlines were notorious for that.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I don't know why.
The Indian Airlines, and the captain is saying, "We're about to land now." And
That's not very politically correct.
it's not. Well, it's a little bit funny. So anyway, there we go. Now I've sent you. Oh, I haven't sent the picture yet. Have I sent the
No,
picture?
you've not sent me anything.
Oh, okay.
What
Well,
are you
here it
sending
is.
me now? What are we discussing now?
This
'Cause we're
image for you.
flip-flopping all over the place here.
You've got an image there.
Blake Lively.
Yeah, there you go. That's a rather interesting image.
That's a beautiful image. I think she's lovely to look at. I have
Are
to
we talking
praise
about
her
the
where
image?
praise- her herself, but the image itself is a lovely image. It's lovely. So Ryan Reynolds is a very lucky man because she is
Yeah,
DDG in my book. DDG, drop dead gorgeous.
Oh,
she
wow, so I
really
didn't-
is.
Do you know, I never heard that particular.
You've not heard
That's an
that term?
acronym, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
an acronym.
DDG,
Yeah.
drop dead gorgeous. She
Never
really
heard it.
is.
But you've never come across it before.
Okay.
No, I'm doing it as a sort of a joke, man. Because to me, it's interesting that anyone would actually take a picture like that. Because think that's sort of inappropriate.
Well, it's not inappropriate. She's wearing it just for our listening audience as opposed to our viewing
Okay,
audience.
yeah.
Is although we can't share this even to our viewing audience, but what we'll do, we'll put it in the blurb. There's a
No, I
fantastic
can put it on
picture.
TNT Talkers.
Okay, TNT Talk. In fact, you can do a search. If you do a search for Blake Lively on any browser of your choice,
Yeah.
you'll find this picture. She's wearing this fantastic blue ball gown. She's on the red carpet. It's amazing, and the photo's from behind, so you see the shape of her back. She's silhouetted almost. You can see a silhouette. She's got a wonderful posterior. She's looking absolutely stunning. And fair play to her. Ryan Reynolds, you're a lucky guy, my friend. She is drop dead gorgeous. So, but going back to what we were saying.
So hold on. About
Go on.
that.
Yeah.
It says there's this thing that I remember, one of our sort of MGTOW aphorisms, and it says there is no beautiful woman in this world, but there isn't some guy who's tired of looking at her. If you remember, Ryan, sorry.
Tired of looking at a beautiful woman.
Yeah, there's no beautiful woman in this world, but there is some guy somewhere who's tired of looking at her and has moved on, left her behind.
Well,
Before he got involved in Lively, the Ryan Reynolds was I think he was actually married. He was married to Johnson. What's her first name? Something Johnson?
Oh, I don't know.
Johansson, Scarlett Johansson.
No.
Yeah.
He was married to Scarlett Johansson. Wow. I did not know that.
Uh-huh. So Scarlett Johansson is nothing difficult to look at. and he couldn't take it anymore. So don't be surprised if he gets tired of looking at Lively. Now, the person you're looking for, the controversy, according to my trusty Brave browser, is someone called Justin Baldoni.
Yes.
One of you lots, apparently.
Italian director.
Who about a 400 million defamation. 400 million. What the hell did he say? Defamation lawsuit against Lively and her husband.
What?
Yeah, it's a dual thing. So it's Lively, her husband, and against Baldoni, apparently.
Oh, they're accusing him, or he's accusing them?
Ongoing legal feud. The law, what they call a lawsuit. I don't know what we call it here in the UK anyway. The lawsuit, this is what Americans say lawsuit. The suit, I think we say. We don't say lawsuit, do we? Just say the suit. The suit alleges that Lively and Reynolds attempted to destroy Baldoni's. Oh, Baldoni is suing them.
Oh.
It attempted to destroy Baldoni's reputation and career by making false accusations of sexual harassment. Well, I'll tell you what, if Baldoni is sexually harassing both husband and wife, that's a bit...
No. Maybe what they're saying, obviously Ryan Reynolds is probably backing up his wife. If she's made claims that Baldoni has done something not right, he's obviously going to defend her. But now he's, come back and accusing both of them for defamation and, I assume, destroying his character and his ability to make films. Because clearly, if he's got that on his ledger, who's going to want to film with him?
Yes.
They're going to think so. That's why he's suing him.
Well, the problem, here's the thing, is apparently you're Lively and Baldoni, the battle began when Lively filed a complaint alleging that Baldoni had sexually harassed her on the set of It Ends With Us. Okay. So, she files a lawsuit, files a suit against him, and then he responds to the suit against her. I mean, that's but you can't. I mean, the law in America is ridiculous. How are you able to countersue me whilst I've still got my own blooming case going? Is when my case against you fails, then you can
countersue.
Countersue. By the way, you weren't able to prove it. My name is Mud.
I'm going to prove it. Well, I don't know. Maybe they do set them up, and then. I mean, I'm not familiar with US law and how it works. So because one was put forward first, the other one's sitting in the wings, ready to go once the first one's complete. So in a way, it's putting pressure on the original instigator, i.e. Lively and Reynolds, against him, thinking, well, if you don't win and you don't provide enough evidence, he's got a counter measure in place, so you better have strong evidence to back up your claim, otherwise he's going to countersue you for defamation of character. And that's so in a way it could be a posturing to say, well, look, if you don't provide enough information and your claim is weak, then be aware I'm going to countersue you. It's already kicked off, so you be cautious with what you're saying, and there's an opportunity for you to back down, and I'll back down with mine. Do you see what I mean? It could be just political posturing in that respect.
But I'm actually against the possibility of being able to do that. I'm saying that the law should prevent, because I don't know if, because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a solicitor. I think there's something like, it's almost like double jeopardy, that if I've got a case against you, Tony, in court, I can't bring an ancillary case, something based on that, to another court because it's already in front of the court. That's British law. That's Nigerian law. I can't already do that.
But I think that the counter one can't go until the first one has been done. So it's in readiness.
Well, why was it filed? Why did the court accept the filing? You should. Well, I suppose you wouldn't know, but the Lively team should be able to kick it out and say, "Oh, what are we talking about? We're already in front of a judge." he has any issues, he should bring it up in front of the judge. That's why we're in court.
Yeah, but you bring a particular issue to the court and it's that gets looked at, not a broader picture. So all it is they're claiming that Baldoni has been sexually harassing Lively, and that's all that the court will discuss, whether that has been proven or not. That's
okay, let me
what's
ask
on
you a
the
different
agenda.
question. Let me put it to you in a different way. Right now, the Lively versus Baldoni, or not actually Lively, the Reynoldses, right? The Reynoldses suit against Baldoni is in court. So, if the court finds for the Reynoldses,
Yeah.
there is no way the Baldoni case can win because it's not defamation. It's been proven in court that he did it. This is what I
Yes,
mean.
the other one gets thrown out.
So why the hell? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
that
but
there's no
he's
point because
probably,
you haven't finished.
but he's countering in almost to say, well, look, if you don't provide the right evidence, because he goes, I know I'm innocent, so you provide the evidence, your evidence is weak, right? You realise that if you go ahead with this and bring my name through the mud, you are going to get sued, man.
It's already too late. It's already in court.
Well, yeah, but it
They're
could
not going
be
to
bigger
withdraw
than it
because you
is.
say you're going to sue us. Oh, you're going to sue me. Oh, in that case, I withdraw. That is even more more evidence for you to go ahead and sue. So it's still not a
You
good.
think? I think that's less, because if he's convinced that his evidence is sound and he's not done anything wrong, then he's right to clear his name and go, look, you don't you're slandering me basically, so I'm going to counter sue you. So I'm telling you now, if you don't provide the evidence that you say you are, you're just bringing me through the mud, I'm going to counter sue your ass. And that's basically what he's saying. So he's bold.
The point you're missing is this. He doesn't have to do anything. And what he's doing now, I'm arguing, doesn't make sense. In the eyes of the law, it doesn't make sense. Never mind what he was trying to do. That from an objective point of view, it doesn't make sense. Nothing has happened. He's got nothing to sue about yet. There's
I
this
agree.
accusation. There's this
Yeah.
accusation in court, but there's no outcome. Now, if they drop the case,
Yeah.
sue. If they don't win the case, sue.
Yeah.
But right now, there's this chance that they are going to win.
Yeah.
Who knows? 50-50.
He can still sue.
How can he sue when it's been proven that he did something?
Yeah, but he could sue for. We don't know that second
It's
one.
not defamation. Defamation is when it's false information.
Yeah.
If they prove it in court,
But we don't
the
know
court
what
will
that
say-
second one is. What is it? What's it for?
What?
To sue them for what?
For defamation.
It is for defamation. So they're bringing his name through the mud.
Yes, but it's not false. Defamation is when it's a false. It's when it's false.
Well,
And
could-
by the
we-
way,
Yeah, go on.
why would a director and an actress in this day and age ever be alone together for
I
sexual
don't
harassment?
understand that at all. I'm not
Post
convinced.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would that happen?
Yeah.
What I'm not au fait with the details of this case. Nowadays, sexual harassment can probably mean something like he said my ass was too big. So who
Yeah,
even,
yeah.
who knows? So what? Maybe that's why he's furious and can't even wait for the case because it's like, what? Her ass is
Yeah.
too big. He's Italian. I say that the ass is too big. What the fuck? They're very fiery individuals. And he's like, what? You made something flee my mind. Whilst we were talking about all this, it's gone. I had this thing about Lively. It's gone. I hope it comes back, but I can't remember. Yeah, anyway, so there we are. Who else?
Right, I've just done a search on American law. In American law, a counterclaim can proceed without the conclusion of the original case because it allows the defendant to assert their own claims against the plaintiff within the same legal proceedings. This is done to promote judicial efficiency and avoid multiple lawsuits for related issues. So there are two types of counterclaims, compulsory and permissive. A compulsory counterclaim arises from the same transaction or occurrence as the plaintiff's claim and must be filed in the same lawsuit. What does that mean? A permissive counterclaim, on the other hand, is not directly related to the plaintiff's claim, but shares a sufficient connection within the underlying dispute. Does that clarify anything?
Well, yeah,
no.
what I'm saying is that it's wrong. I'm not saying it's not happening.
Oh, I see.
I'm saying it's not good enough.
Well, clearly there's something that allows it in America.
If you want to be, I mean, I strongly suggest you never allow yourself to be jealous of someone else, because, at least from my point of view,
What do you mean jealous from someone else? In what context?
I'm speaking now about Ryan Reynolds. He's had a good run at some of the prettiest people around. I'm going to send you a link, which we can share. I'm going to send you a link, but before the link happens, let me explain. Just going back to the beginning, so to speak. You say you're not very good with actors and actresses, which is unfortunate. Melissa Joan Hart. I don't think you know who that is, and I don't really.
I recognize the name.
Yeah, she was back donkeys years ago. 90s, I think. She was a bit big on American TV. So.
Oh, okay.
But you might know Trailer Howard. Have you heard of Trailer Howard? No,
that's not a name that resonates.
She was. Have you ever watched Monk, the TV series, the detective series?
No.
Monk. She was the assistant for a long time.
Never seen Monk.
Yeah, you should watch Monk, but it's a lot. It's a series. It has ended, and it was basically an autistic detective, and his autism.
Detective. So he's very thorough.
Well, I'm kind of being. That's my interpretation. It was it was autism, but it was triggered by something that happened to his wife. So it was basically a loose cannon in the head, sort of thing. Not a loose cannon as in dangerous to people and everything, yeah. So it's a very good series, because how he would solve things. He would have this moment of realization and then pull things together. And the best episodes were the ones where you totally saw that, but you couldn't put the things together yourself.
Okay.
When it was shown to you, you went, "I'm so stupid." Yes, of course. Something like
once
that.
Once you've seen everything, it makes sense. I get it.
Once you've seen everything, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kristen Johnston, Third Rock from the Sun. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he had a
Third
thing
Rock from the Sun. Yeah, that was fun.
Then he moved on to an actress I personally really like, which is Rachel Lee Cook.
Don't
if
know
you
any
remember
of
her.
these. You'll have to give me pictures of these. I might recognize them.
Oh, okay. Do you know what?
Ooh,
what's happening here? Let me send you the picture. Where is this? Where are you? There we go. Have you got that?
So Ryan Reynolds and hookups. Wow. So that's Blake Lively.
Go to the bottom. Go to right to the bottom
Good
first.
Grief. Isn't that Alanis Morissette on one of the pictures?
Go right to the bottom and then look for Rachel Lee Cook so you catch up with me.
He was not dating Charlize Theron, though. Surely not. Agnes
go to
Fisher,
the bottom.
Safe House. Okay, start from the bottom. Good grief. There's so many. I mean, he's a good looking chap. I give him that.
Yeah, and he's very clever and he's very talented. He can sing too, believe it or not.
Really?
He's a bit of comedian, so he's got the gift of the gab.
Yeah, of course he has. Absolutely.
So he's got
charming.
all those things going for him. Yeah,
Melissa Joan Hart. Oh wow, mind you, that's a very young Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Okay, so he dated her. She was Sabrina, Teenage Witch on there. Okay, then Trailer Howard. No, I don't recognize her.
Yeah, well, if you haven't watched Monk, you would. I mean, that's probably what she's known for.
Okay, very pretty, attractive. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then Kirsten Johnston from Third Rock from the Sun. Wow, he dated her too. Okay, I didn't think she was as she was attractive, but not in the same league as the other girls that he's just been dating.
She's pretty in a different sort of way.
Yeah. She's not.
You look at her. She's. Have you heard of the Schrodinger's cat thing?
Yeah.
Okay, she's got a Schrodinger kind of pretty. It's there and it's not there at the same time.
There's something about her. She's very nice.
There's something about her. But
there's something about her. You can't put your finger on it.
Figure is she pretty or is she not?
Yeah.
And
then you've got Rachel Lee Cook, and she's beautiful as well.
That's right, and she's all that. From when I was a young man, I was in my 20s or something when that film came out. And she was, yeah, it was a
Rachel
very
Lee
nice
Cook.
Yeah, very pretty
Then
little thing.
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, well,
Goodness
yeah, I would
me.
personally wouldn't touch her with a barge pole, but there we go. Feminist
Wow.
before feminism was a thing.
Oh, really? She was.
Yeah, she's this her songs, man.
She's a
All
feminist.
misandrist, man bashing rubbish to me. But I mean, unfortunately, the songs were beautiful. I used to sing along with them
Yeah,
through
but not
gritted
know
teeth.
the real.
No, through gritted teeth.
Okay. These relationships are not very long, though, let's be honest.
I was looking for the one.
Yeah, maybe. And then Scarlett Johansson.
There we go.
Wow.
That one lasted because they bloody married her, I think.
They were engaged and married.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But again, 2 years. It seems to have a 2 year period that he marries all these beautiful women.
Well,
Incredible.
not married. He goes out with most of them, not rather
Well,
than
some
married.
of them are married. Not Sandra Bullock, surely not.
Yeah, that
they met
film,
on the
wasn't it?
film The Proposal. That was quite good. No, they denied that. Mind you, they were in several films together. Okay, but no, that's a denial. I think I'm pretty sure. And then Agnes Fisher. Where does she come from? I can't.
Agnes Fisher looks to me. I'm looking at that picture because I don't really know who Agnes Fisher is. A German model, but I look at her and I'm thinking more of the actress in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, but it's not her. Though. It isn't her.
Okay.
But
Well,
she's
they kinda look
got a
very
striking
similar.
resemblance to her, though.
That's right.
But yes, just from the actress from Game of Thrones, but it isn't her.
Oh, what's
Although
that
there
film
is
I
a
should tell you
similarity.
about? Let me see. There's a film that you should watch with your good lady, your wife,
Yeah.
Julie. Well, I'm assuming they're the same.
Yeah. Absolutely the same. Yeah.
Shouldn't make assumptions. And when you've watched it, she will be all romantic afterwards. So should
You
I tell you what
think?
it is? No, I'm sure of it. Because,
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
no, well, yeah.
What's the
I can't be
film? I'll
certain.
make a note. Go on.
I've got to find the name. So keep looking whilst I find the
Okay.
name.
Charlize Theron. I
Yes,
used to think she was stunning as well, and still do. And that's not something he's been.
She's not difficult to look at. I mean, and when she was in Aeon Flux, Aeon Flux, I think that was the best she ever looked. That was her moment in time. There's a moment in time when I think basically any woman, there's this moment when, bam, that's the apex of their beauty and everything. And it was in that film, Aeon Flux.
I don't know. I've never
yeah,
seen that
she
film
was-
either. But no, she's lovely. I think she's a nice person.
What's the name of the
as well.
blue woman in Game of Thrones again?
Oh, I don't know. Don't know. And then obviously Blake Lively, he's been married. So his longest relationship, he's been married to her for 12 years. So he's got children, 4 children together. Wow. So this is his actual
This is the one.
relationship.
This is the one he was
yeah.
looking for.
Yeah. But she is, again, Blake Lively is one of the most beautiful women, certainly on the planet. She's stunning. So, but then again,
I don't actually agree with you. I
I think she's lovely.
I haven't seen. I don't see it. Let me be honest. Genuinely, I don't see it. I actually think that she's a lookalike for Rachel McAdams, and Rachel McAdams is the real thing, so to speak. So I'm not trying to get on the bottom or anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she's never really done it for actress.
I think she
Yeah,
is
I think.
in my
Emilia
opinion. Obviously,
Clarke.
we're all different. That's why we're different. We're attracted to different people, different looks, different things. I mean, Rachel Lee Cook, I thought was beautiful. She's got a lovely little face and beautiful eyes.
Elfin is the word I think I'd use.
Elfin, maybe.
Elfin.
Maybe.
And
But
she
I do-
is small. She is small. Small stature. She's Elfin. And I always used to mix her up with this half Native American girl who looks very sort of similar. They came up at the same time, and they both had kind of very similar looks. And the other one went down so kind of like almost like a dark path, if you like, you like. And this one took a different path. And there was, well, I've got to remember it was called Unreal. That was the name of the TV show. Have you watched Unreal?
No, never watched
Oh
Unreal.
my goodness. Whilst you're stuck at home, you should watch Unreal TV series. Let me tell you how to.
Just for the benefit of those tuning in, not unaware or unaware of what Ty is talking about, I don't know whether you can see behind me there, just over there. There's two crutches there. I'm on crutches at the minute because I've ruptured my Achilles, and the doctors said it would have been better had you broken your leg than rupture your Achilles, because the Achilles is so important for the actual movement of the foot. It doesn't get a good blood supply, so it takes ages to heal. It's pretty fundamental for the whole operation of the lower calf and leg, and I've ruptured it. So I'm in a boot, on crutches, cannot drive, foot up most of the time. So even while doing this recording, my leg is aching for sure, but I'm doing it for the team, the TNT talk show, for this ad hoc show that we're doing today, which is interesting.
Okay, the name of the film that I'm saying you should watch her name is Emilia Clarke.
Oh, Emilia Clarke. Yes.
And the name of the film is Last Christmas, 2019.
Okay.
Absolutely, 100%, absolutely do not research the film, because it is based on something and it might spoil it for you.
Okay.
You think about, don't. Just watch it. I don't even want to say, the less I say, the better.
Go on then,
okay?
What's the film
and
called?
Anybody else who's going to watch it, for goodness sakes, don't look it up first, because there are idiots out there who say things that they shouldn't say, and it might spoil things for you.
What's the film called?
Last Christmas. I'm going to post it to you.
Last Christmas. Now, the thing is, if it's a Christmas film, I'm not sure that's a film I want to watch now, because we're not.
Don't worry about that. It's ancillary. It's not important to the
film
plot
itself. Okay.
No, it's not.
But it's worth watching. I mean, I have to be honest. You've recommended several films in the past, and you said you got to watch this, you got to watch this, got to watch, and I have subsequently watched them. And
give me one.
Oh,
because I might see
Buster Scrubs or whatever that was. Just comes to mind.
Buster Scruggs. Everybody loves Buster Scruggs. No, the first one, at least the very first one. It was four stories in one.
Four? There was more than four.
No, four. 4 stories.
There were longer than there was more than 4. I sat through it with my sons.
The very first
Julie,
one.
Yeah.
The
Sharpshooter.
The Sharpshooter.
Don't give it away. What was it? The Curse of Buster Scrubs or something?
Something like that. I mean, and people are asking for that character to be brought back and to made into something. And the rest of them, they're just so out there. They
were out there. It was like, what are we watching here?
Oh my
and you
God,
highly recommended it. I got Julie next to me. I said, this one's recommended by Tyre. Honestly, he's brilliant at recommending films. And she sat there, long face, going, what the F is this?
Okay, so I don't understand, because I think my wife kind of enjoyed that too. At least she said it. But this particular one, both she and others have said, so it's not just me.
Okay, Last Christmas, 2019.
Last Christmas, 2019.
Okay,
yeah.
I will try and persuade
I've just
my
found
lovely
out
wife to
Emilia
watch
Clarke
this.
was born on the same month and day as my poor departed sister. She's interesting. Isn't that weird?
Oh, okay. How old is Emilia Clarke then? She's not that old, is she?
I don't know, 86, whatever that is. 38.
Oh, wow. Youngster.
Cracking on now.
No.
It's always good to do. Cracking on now.
Oh, dear.
What else are we talking about? Yeah, so...
We're just being random here today. We're putting this together, and it's quite an interesting
because Tony and I were having a good chat, and I thought to myself, do you know something funny? We should actually share this, because this is just us.
Yeah, I know. Being chatty over a beer, it would seem. This is when this would work, because we're just shooting the breeze.
You can't. The funny thing is that you can't prep for things like this. Do you know something? It reminds me of something that a very famous. Well, no, it's not famous.
I've got to ask you about the Trump thing. Come on, we might as well talk briefly about it.
Yes, but before we do this because I wanted to explain why we can't do this. Not what's the word I'm looking for? Genuine, not genuine. What is it? Authentically. This wouldn't be authentic if we planned it.
Yeah.
That in fact, as a very, I don't call it famous, but according to Tony, as a notorious gentleman might have once said, a certain Dr. Isaiah Henry.
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. We've kept it away from this one because this is not a planned show. We're shooting off the cuff.
A certain Dr. Isaiah Henry Mamatamba might have said, he who trains with the shadows of midnight will never master the brilliance of noon. Never master the brilliance of noon. Can you imagine?
Do you know what? I don't know if you purposely did that. Well, you purposely did that or not to add effect to that quote, but I never actually caught the final word. But then it doesn't matter because what Dr. Isaiah Henry says is...
It is noon, the opposite of midnight.
It's noon.
Noon.
It's lost on me and the whole audience that tune in because that was just...
You're pulling my leg, man. He who trains with the shadows of midnight will never master the brilliance of noon. That's why we can't... This is why it's authentic. Because this is just something that we produce as of the brilliance of noon, without practice, without preparation. This is the real us. This is
yeah, it is. We've not researched. Well, we were going to talk about Donald Trump actually, because by the time we're doing this recording, we were going to discuss about his upcoming presidency and whether or not some of these bombastic claims that he's made recently before he's got into office regarding Greenland, Panama, Canada. I mean, what is going on with this man? What is he doing? And whether or not they were even possible. Is it true? Is it fake? Is he a genius? What is his angle? Why come out with things like this? And, what was he hoping to gain from it rather than ostracizing colleagues and countries and people like that? I'm still trying to figure out what was he planning to gain from this posturing, unless he's genuinely going to invade them all. I mean, which is crazy. You start a nuclear war.
Well, I've amassed a large body of research material. The problem is that the last time I did that, I got lost in the weeds, and I felt very off-put by it because I had all this information. You constantly interrupted me and discombobulated my train of thought. But apart from that, I was trying to sew together a narrative and present my case, so to speak. But he kept interrupting and dragging me out. It's like a Yenga or Jenga thing. He kept prodding and pushing until the edifice of my magnificence was destroyed by the totalitarian randomicity of Tony. So he just took your random sledgehammer and destroyed everything and be carefully prepared. Even though it was a fortress, yet you infiltrated it like a cankerworm from the inside. So I thought, no, this is not good enough. I'm not going to go through the trouble of assembling this mass of information and then be undone by a couple of unexpected questions. And maybe go, what? Huh? What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? And by the time we've discovered that it has nothing to do with anything, I try to get back to where I was and I go, sorry, what was I saying? And all that effort has gone up in smoke. So no, actually, thank you very much. What I am considering how to bring this information. There's a lot of information, but a lot of it is supposition. Now, so the basis of my response to what is he up to is that there are two forms of American exceptionalism. There we go. Exceptionalism. Okay, there are two forms of it. One is globalist, which is that the entire world is America's playground, and America is the leader, and the rules-based order is them imposing what is best for humanity on the rest of the world. And then there
Or that the
is,
rules don't apply to them.
well, no, it's for they're exceptional. The reason they're exceptional is that they have to be the ones making the rules, and they can't be held by those same rules. That's why it can't be a law, because in the law, everyone is held to the same standards under the law. That's why it's a rules-based order. See?
Yeah, I
Right?
see.
And then there's another exceptionalism, which is that America is so exceptional that it must not have consanguinity with the rest of you oinks, because you
So what? They're better than
bottom
everyone
feeding
else?
scum.
Oh,
Yes,
good
yes. And
grief.
you bottom feeding scum will sully, their purity and everything and their wonderfulness and whatnot. And that one wants sort of like a fortress America that is safe, on its northern border with Canada and Greenland, and is safe on the south and has access to the Panama Canal. So you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
So
but Panama
that's going
Canal
to
is
be
beyond Mexico. It's not
well.
like it's on its
That's the
border.
northern. Is that particular America? Fortress America includes all of North America, all of the continents of North America,
So
and Greenland,
okay.
because that's what makes them safe. Because when they've got that, they don't need nobody else, so to speak.
But do they forget that Alaska actually is just a few miles away from Russia? Do they forget that side of it, or is
No, they haven't forgotten that side of it. That's why, in order for it to be Fortress America, that's why Canada must be folded into America proper.
but that
So
isn't
the
gonna
only
happen.
40 million Canadians apparently, and I thought they were a much larger population.
No, it's not
Apparently,
that
only
big.
about 40. It's a
Even though
huge land mass, and
oh
it's only
yeah, but
40.
a big area of it you can't live in, even though it's huge, because it's frozen. It's part of the Arctic, so you can't live in it. So there's yes, area wise they're massive, but yeah, there's only small areas, small pockets you can actually live in that are habitable, because otherwise you're in the Arctic Circle. So yeah.
Yeah, so
40
that's
million,
the
but
other
no,
one.
that's not going to happen. I mean, it's just to
Well,
me.
he's not. He doesn't. You see, based on the fact that everybody else is weak, and this includes
If based on that logic, if everyone else is weak, why doesn't he even need to do any of this?
because of the rise of China.
So not everybody else is weak then.
No,
China is an
everybody else
up-and-coming-
around him, everyone else around him now is weak. When I say weak, I mean they are not strong men. They are weak men. They're not strong men. A strong man would just say, "You've got nukes, I've got nukes. You want to do something? We'll talk about it on the nuclear battlefield. You're not going to win. We will both lose." Strong man can say that, but weak man, we'll talk about. And then he feels that he's the greatest deal master ever.
Oh, he does believe that, yes.
So his way of doing a deal is to say something outrageous, get you all worried about it, get you hyped up, get you thinking this guy's a lunatic, and then he comes in and then he talks, and then he strikes a deal, and then he walks away as grandmaster.
You're right about him believing his own rhetoric that he's the best deal maker. But then he comes in, he's hoping to win concessions somehow. I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. He isn't going to get, unless he invades Panama and the Panama Canal, which would cause a big hoo-ha. It's all political.
Would it though? Would
posturing. It? Yeah, I think it would. Canada,
who?
no.
No,
Canada
wait, who?
wouldn't happen.
Let's stick with Panama. Who's going to cause a palaver? I mean, I don't know how they're going to get to Canada. Well, they're going to sail their ships and everything, I suppose.
To
So
Canada.
everything's going to have to be supplied by ship, because you can't go through Mexico. I'm assuming you can't go through the rest of Panama to get there. But they did remove Noriega. They managed to do
They
that.
invaded, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
because he
so
was
they've done it
stopping
before.
them, though, wasn't he?
Sorry.
That's why he was stopping them. He was a bad egg of Panama, so they had to get rid of him.
No, I
because
think it
part
was-
of their constitution is they've got to protect the canal. That's part of the deal that they signed. So they offered, but the Panama Canal itself, they handed back to Panama, but it's part of the remit of the treaty that was signed is that they take ownership, but the security to ensure it still runs is based on the US. So,
No, who knows about breaking treaties better than America?
well,
So yeah, somebody should just stand up and just like he did with the JC, with like Donald Trump did with the JCPOA with Iran, just stand up and say, "Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore."
I
You
know.
know, like you did. He can always throw these things back in their faces, but weak men don't do that. See, I just invite, if I was Panamanian, I'd invite China, Russia, Iran, and all the other enemies of America. Come and sit on the Panama Canal. Hey, I'm inviting you. Come, there you go. Put 500,000 men there, and then let's see.
Yeah, I know.
But China is not even that worried about it because what China has done is developed the what is it? I don't know now. Is the either the biggest port in South America or the biggest port in the continent of South America or the biggest port, I believe, in Peru. But it's a humongous port. I think $2 billion is sunk into the damn place. And they've put railroads, they're building even more infrastructure, rail going into Brazil and supposed to go into South America and make it so much easier for which coast? Atlantic coast, South America, to transport all their stuff over to Peru. It's good for the people on the Atlantic coast. It's good for Peru because they get all that traffic and everything. And then China has just got a straight shot. You just go from that port all the way up to.
But a Pacific is huge. You're going across the Pacific. That's not
Well,
the
it's
best
basically the
route.
same thing as getting across blooming from the Panama. What do you think Panama is?
Yeah, I know,
You're
but
crossing from.
yeah, but the route you're doing the same, but across only sea, and that sea is a turbulent sea. I mean,
No, they're doing it
that's
already,
why
aren't they?
that's
They
why a
already
lot
got so
of
much traffic.
yeah, I know, but that's why a lot of trade doesn't go across directly across the Pacific. It's strange, but it's not the best ocean. They do like to go the other way, which
I'll
is
have a look at
really
it in a
bizarre.
minute because that doesn't sound right from what I understand, but I don't want to challenge you until if I look at it. We were speaking, just to flip back a little bit because it's on my browser, one of my tabs. Unreal TV
Unreal,
series.
unreal. What's that?
It's a TV series, and it's
Okay.
the
We're
other.
jumping around again now, aren't we? Good grief. We're flip flopping between
But
topics.
I'm sure our audience is on board enough to. Shiri Appleby. She is the actress I said looked a lot like, well, not looked like, but reminded me a lot of Rachel Lee Cook. And I always used to get them mixed them up. They came up at the same time, different shows. Shiri Appleby, I think, is partly Native American and everything.
Okay.
And this particular, this particular,
Unreal. Okay.
yes, Unreal. It's
And the actresses in that, is that what you're looking at now? Oh,
she's the
Shiri Appleby. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
she's the lead actress. And what it is a behind the scenes look, an optimized or fictionalized behind the scenes look at reality TV.
Oh, okay.
And until I watched it, and my wife and I watched it, we were like normies in the sense that we didn't understand what it was like. So now, when she and I are watching anything like this, reality TV, we say, this person is being produced. What does that mean? They're being produced. If you watch this TV series, you'll understand what that phrase means. Well, produce it, you know?
Oh, okay. So you're
So
saying that live TV, these reality TV shows, are not all live? That's
I'm
basically
saying
what you're
that they're
saying.
a load of bunkum.
Yeah,
I'm
they are
saying,
bunkum. They're all
I'm
set
saying
up.
that they are, yeah, but not scripted, set
No,
up.
they're not scripted, but they're set up. Of
And
course they're set up. They're given a narrative, and then they're
they're
acting
not
and see
actually
what
given a
happens.
narrative. They are inveigled into a narrative.
Ah,
You're right. So they're produced into a narrative.
yes, I see. I
Yeah, and
see.
how they do it,
It's up to the
how
characters.
how they are selected and they're manipulated into it. So they
Yeah.
go in with good intentions and everything, but those intentions are meaningless
Right.
because the people who are there on top of you are pure evil.
Well, they're not on top of you because at the end of the day, they've got a program to put out. You can't have characters in a program that are stale or boring. You've got to encourage them to do things that they wouldn't do. They're on TV, for goodness sake.
Encourage is one thing,
So, yeah.
manipulate them is another thing.
Well, indeed, it's how far they want to take it for audience
There's no
figures.
limit to where
Well,
they're going to
indeed.
take it.
Indeed, indeed.
According to this, so it's a lot of fun to watch. I thoroughly enjoy it. Now you just all have to watch episode one. If you don't like it, just don't tell
Jules.
Julie to watch it until you've watched it and you like episode one
okay.
too. So I don't get blamed for anything. But the other one is, yeah, you could probably watch it by yourself, and then I think even you would be like, ah man, you got to watch this. The film, Last Christmas. Okay, what else? Before I jump back to this, where were we?
Well, we need to sort of begin to wrap up, to be honest.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm enjoying this.
We've been shooting the breeze quite a bit. We'll have to. I mean, I don't know how we're going to edit this version of the show. What our audience will think of it. It's obviously off the cuff, or maybe we call it off the cuff or something like that.
What happens when the TNT goes off the cuff?
Yeah, that's quite a good show
Apparently,
title.
Chaos. But then again, it could be the brilliance of noon.
Oh, no, don't say it.
You're going to miss. You are so going to miss Dr. Isaiah Henry. You really are.
I mean, like I said to you before, I'm sure you're making these up. But if not, please make them up some more. I mean, they genuinely pain me when you say them, because they mean nothing. They're just literally, and our audience must be thinking the same thing. These are just, who is this guy? And personally, I think you're going to do a big reveal. When you've finished, you're going to say, you know what? It was me all along. I was pulling your chain. I was winding you up. There's no such person as Dr. Isaiah Henry Matatamba. In fact, it was me all along. And you know what? If that was you, I will applaud you. I will say, Tayo, you've got to put those in a book and sell it, because our audience would buy it purely because of the way that you've delivered it in such a way.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. What? And secondly, is Dr. Isaiah Henry Mamatamba.
Oh, Mamatamba. Sorry. The gentleman has, I've been calling him wrong all this time.
No wonder. Good Lord.
No, I don't think much of what his quotes are.
I don't understand why we had so much trouble. I mean, is there anything you want to argue with here? He who trains with the shadows of midnight will never master the brilliance of noon. What's funny? What
does it mean? Is just someone that works at night is never going to know what the day is like? Is that what that's about?
He who trains with the wrong tools, he who prepares incorrectly, will never be able to achieve astonishing victories or achieve anything astonishing as the brilliance of noon, because you're training with the wrong tools in the wrong way at the wrong time in the middle of the night. What are you doing? That's not. You've got to use.
It's too vague. If you want to get a message across, the art of communication is to simplify it. And if you do simplify it, give somebody the means to ponder on a thought and really think it through. When it's too vague, as this is, it's too out there, people are scratching their heads going, what does this mean? What am I getting from this? I can't derive it. It's like some of this modern art. I mean, he's probably in the same mould. You see, you go to some of these places where they have modern art, and there was a white canvas with a small green, a little bit of green.
Okay.
And you look at that and you think, what? And some people who are obviously clearly more educated than I are looking at it and going, oh, this gives you the feeling of, you know, the person's mind and all this colour. We see what's going on. We can see the depth of his persona. I'm looking at it like, it's a green smudge on a piece of white background. What are you talking about? Give me a properly picture of Constable that looks like, you know, something I could actually relate to. Not this nonsense. I'm sorry.
Don't forget that it was the same Dr. Isaiah Henry who said, the drum that beats in the wind speaks only to the silent trees. Don't forget that. Okay?
Please don't waste any more of this stuff.
This desire of yours to have everything spelled out to you.
It's got to be clarity. That's the whole magic of communication and words, so that you can understand the beauty and passing information.
And I've always used them appropriately. I've always
Yes,
used
yes, but not when you're quoting this guy.
and I've used them appropriately, and I didn't even know we were going to do this show, and yet I was able to bring up this aphorism today, and it's very apt in the circumstance.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Yeah, there we
Anyway, we have got to the end of the show of all this nonsense. I don't know how we're going to edit this. We'll see what happens. But if you've loved this episode, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives.
I must interrupt you for once.
Go on.
I must interrupt you for once and say, and even if you haven't loved this episode, but if you love the other episodes, what the actual? Don't worry, our other shows.
Yeah, like those. Maybe not this one. Yeah. But anyway, you've listened to Tony and Tyre, and we are the TNT Talk Show. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of the show for another week.